What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited. I'm coming at you guys with another hair tutorial video. You guys seem to really enjoy my hair tutorial videos. Today I've partnered with Clip Hair Limited to bring you a little tutorial on how to apply hair extensions to your hair. I have medium length hair and I have quite thick hair. So if you struggle with finding extensions for thick hair, you are going to love these. These have blended so easily for me. I didn't have to cut them or anything. I just placed them right in my hair. You'll see my hair is medium length, so whether or not your hair is my length or longer, you may be okay with not cutting them. If it's shorter, you may have to take it to a professional to get them nice and blended and cut. But anyways, the ones I am using are, I believe, the 22-inch hair extensions in the shade 33 Dark Auburn. If you feel like your hair color is close to mine and you wanted to see what the Dark Auburn look like, then this is it. I do feel like they blend pretty nicely to the hair color that I have in my hair. So I'm really excited to show you guys. This is the final look. If you want to see how to blend extensions and how to properly apply them in your hair, then just keep on watching. So I'm first starting out with my hair nice and combed through, and I've already sprayed some heat protectant on my hair just to make sure that my hair is nice protected from the heat, because we are going to be curling it today. I prefer to curl my extensions for some reason. I think, especially with my hair length, it's much less obvious and it blends better when it's curled. Of course, I'm not saying you can't wear them straight, but for today's video, I am going to show you how I blend them when I curl them. And when I curl them, I am actually going to be using, I believe this is a 1.5-inch rod. I'm using that because the hair extensions, like I mentioned, are 22 inches. I'm using it because the extensions are longer, and because they're longer and fuller, it's better to use a bigger rod. I feel like the bigger your hair is, the bigger the rod you want to go with, but that's just my personal opinion. So this is what we're going to be using. I probably just got this from Target. It's from Pro Beauty Tools, so it's super inexpensive. And also make sure that you're going to be spraying your extensions with heat protectant as well, and that is something I've already done previously to filming this video. So before I start to apply them, I do want to make sure that they're nice and combed out. So you can just take them one at a time, and mine are already curled from a previous wear, but you can see how I'm just going to comb them out to ensure that when I curl them to blend them into my hair, that there's no tangles. It makes for a much easier application and styling process. So they're nice and smooth and combed out. They feel amazing. You can see, wow, how much volume combing them out adds as well. You don't want a big tangled mess or anything like that. So I'm going to first organize them in the way that I apply them. I don't really feel like there's any specific way that you have to apply these extensions. Whatever works best and blends best for your hair. For my hair, I didn't have to cut these at all. I feel like my hair is at a nice length to where I don't have to blend or cut the extensions. They just blend on their own into my hair. So I'm going to first take this 3-clip weft. This is one of the smaller of the 3-clip wefts. So this is what I'm going to start with first. So what you're first going to want to do is section off your hair, whether you use a clip or a ponytail. It doesn't matter. I'm going in with a ponytail. So what I'm doing is first sectioning off my hair, and I'm starting at the base of my neck, and I'm not really leaving in too much hair because I feel like that's the place where it looks the most obvious that you're wearing extensions, because these kind of peep through underneath your hair. So I always try to do a thin layer, so you can see. I'll show you and I'll turn around. So not much hair is really taken out from this section, but this is the one I'm starting with. If your hair is finer and maybe not as textured, you can opt to tease just by the roots of your hair to add a little grip for the extensions. I don't feel like I need that. I have quite thick hair, so I'm gonna skip that step. But if you feel like you have finer, thinner hair, then I would just tease right at the base of your hair shaft to give it a nice place for the clips to rest on and ensure that if your hair gets tugged on throughout the day, they're not going to slide down. So we're first going to apply these to our hair, and then we're going to style. So I'm going to show you guys how I apply the first time, just so you can see exactly where I'm putting this and how easy it is to clip it. So you're gonna wanna make sure your clips are all unclipped before starting this. And what I'm doing is just simply taking the hair and clipping it right at the base there. And this piece fits perfectly at the base of my neck. So now we have our first piece in, and you can see how leaving it straight kind of really shows the piece, but it's up to you what you wanna do. So what I'm gonna take is, this is a thinner piece, so I split it right in half. I'm going to take my wand, and this is going to be the same for every layer that I do. And with a bigger curling iron, I do like to hold it for a second. That's where the heat protectant comes in. You are going to be putting quite a bit of heat on your hair and on the extensions, so you want to make sure they're protected. So I'm going to hold it and slowly move down the entire shaft of the hair. And once it's all in there, I do like to hold it for a second just to make sure those ends get nice and curled. So we're just gonna hold it for a few seconds. But remember that in my video, these were already curled. So just make sure that if yours aren't, you may wanna hold it a little longer. So you can see how nice and curled it is. It's really hot, I'm not gonna touch it. I know it looks crazy right now. I'm gonna move on to the other side while that cools down. Make sure you grab every piece of hair. And you're just gonna give it a nice curl. And I just let it out nice and slow, just like so. So then before I move on to the next layer, I just add a little bit of hairspray. I wanna keep that in place, because at the end, once we're finished curling every single section, that's when we're gonna run our fingers through our hair to blend it in nicely and make it look like a really beautiful, glamorous, curly wave. So the next section that I take when I do my hair, only because my hair is thick, I do move up quite a bit. So what I'm gonna do is actually take the hair right at where my top of my ears are and take a nice thick section just like so. Try to get the rest of that hair out of the way. And now we have a new hair section. And again, I split that right down the middle because I just like to curl on each side. So this is the part where things change for me and might be different for you. I tend to part my hair further more on this side. So there's a little bit more hair on this side, a little less on this side. So because there's more hair on this side, I want to go the same way with the extensions. So I'm going to probably add thicker pieces to this side and bigger pieces and thinner ones on this side. So for this side, for my hair, I'm taking one of the largest pieces. This is still 3 clips, but it's larger than the first 3 clip one that we put at the base of our hair. So I'm first going to take this piece. I'm going to start applying it. I don't put it as close to my face as possible. I kind of give it some breathing room. And I just clip it right in, and it almost reaches all the way over, but because it doesn't, and we're still gonna split this in half, so now there's more hair over here. Because it doesn't reach all the way, I'm gonna take a bigger 2-clip weft, and I'm going to do the same. Not put it super close to the front of my hair, and clip that in so it almost just barely overlaps with one of the last clips on the other weft, but not quite. So we've got a good amount of hair coming in already. So I'm gonna take a small section. Make sure you include some of your natural hair in there when you go to curl. And we're gonna do the same thing all the way around. So we're just going to take our time curling each section. And we really wanna make sure that that hair gets nice and blended. So I find it's easiest to curl your natural hair with the extensions because you have to be able to blend them into the extensions in order for them to look good and look natural. So again, with the next section, because this side is parted, I part more towards that side. I'm going to take close to my temples and part up again. And we're gonna do the exact same thing as I did with the last section. So again, I'm taking a bigger 3-clipped weft, just like this, and I'm putting it on this side of my hair, and then I'm gonna put another double clip weft on this side. And again, what you're going to do is blend in your natural hair with your hair extensions while curling with the curling iron, and then spraying at the end with hairspray. Now that I'm done with the majority of my hair, it's time to focus on my part and the final layer of extension. So I'm gonna part my hair about right here, and I'm going to take my finger and part my hair to where I'm going to place my final layer of extension. So now what's left is a smaller set of a 3-clipped weft, which is obviously going to go on this side of my head, the right side of my head. And so I'm just going to place that just like so along my hairline, and where my head curves, I'm just gonna wrap it right alongside there, and I'm gonna leave it just like this because I'm gonna go in and start curling that section of my hair. And up here, I'm gonna take smaller sections when I curl. And something else I'm not sure if I mentioned, wow. Something else I'm not sure if I mentioned is that I am curling every single strand of hair away from my face. I just think that looks the best when all of the curls are curled away. So now I'm going to flip the hair over top, and I'm going to move on to the next side. We will come back to this top section once we're finished with the extensions on this side. So same thing with this side. I'm going to go close to my parts, but not quite all the way. And for this side, we have the 2 smallest sections of extensions. These are the two clip wefts, but they're much smaller. I would say they're like 2 inches wide. So I'm gonna first take the first one and place it close to my face. And the next one's gonna be right next to it, but we're gonna allow for it to curve around as well. And remember that this is just subject to the way I part my hair. This may not necessarily be the way that you are going to blend yours in, but you want to make sure there's a thick enough layer up top here so you don't see any of the wefts. And I will show you how to blend that as well, but oops, let me move that back up. So I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Just take the section of hair and curling it. Okay, now that we are finished with that top layer of extensions, now's the time when we're going to start blending in the hair. So I'm taking small sections, and what I'm doing is I'm not gonna curl it too crazy up top. We're just gonna give it a nice little wave to help blend it in and make sure there's no stick straight pieces of hair. And I usually take smaller sections with this as well. Really quickly pull it down. Nothing too crazy, nothing too curly. Just enough to get those ends curled so we can kind of blend them right into the hair. Same with this side. Make sure you're always curling away from your face. And you're taking smaller sections, not quite as thick as what we were doing. Probably about an inch thick of sections. Okay, now that that top section has been curled, I'm just going to take little sections of the hair and tease them up nicely. Almost said tweeze, we don't want to tweeze our hair. I just want to cover all of the wefts, and this kind of adds a fullness to keep them covered. Make sure no one sees them. If the wind blows, our hair stays in place. We don't want to see any wefts. That kind of defeats the purpose. Okay, so that's nice. It gives us a little bit of volume, but also a lot of coverage to the wefts. And what we're going to do is just give it a final spray. And now we're just combing it out with our fingers to blend it all together. And now you can see how nicely everything blends together and how full these extensions really are. I'm telling you guys, I have very thick hair and these extensions have worked wonders for me. So here is the front view, and I'll show you guys the back view. And everything like that. So these have definitely become a quick favorite of mine. I love having long hair, and I love that I found some extensions that actually work well with my thick hair. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and if not, then give it a thumbs down. Make sure that if you are looking to shop for some extensions like these, the link down below, you can shop all of their many, many colors of hair so that you too can have beautiful, thick, voluminous, long hair. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.